What you're about to see isn't just rare photos. Each shot has a mind-blowing story that few people know about. Take this photo, for example.
A British soldier holds a crucifix during the brutal Battle of the Somme in 1916. The background shows the intense stress and chaos of trench warfare during World War I. Moments of faith like this provided solace amidst the extreme danger faced by soldiers. Cher and Gregg Allman are seen together here during the mid-1970s. Their relationship and brief marriage brought together two major figures from different music worlds, pop and southern rock. The pairing generated significant media attention at the time. A young Rudolf von Ribbentrop walks in London around 1936, dressed in formal attire including a top hat. His father, Joachim von Ribbentrop, had just been appointed Germany's ambassador to Great Britain. Rudolf attended Westminster School during his time in London before the war. Kiki Håkansson from Sweden, center in white gown, stands with other contestants after winning the very first Miss World pageant in London 1951. Originally called the Festival Bikini Contest, it featured contestants primarily in swimwear. The crowning caused some controversy at the time due to the bikini attire. Actors Maud Adams, Roger Moore as James Bond, Britt Ekland, and Hervé Villechaize relaxed between takes during the filming of The Man with the Golden Gun in 1974. The Bond film was shot on location in various places, including Hong Kong and Thailand. Villechaize played the memorable henchman Nick Nack. Two men operate an early Coca-Cola delivery truck, loaded with crates of glass bottles, around 1909. The truck belongs to the Roddy Goodman Company, and features prominent Coca-Cola branding. Early motorized vehicles like this one began replacing horse-drawn wagons for commercial deliveries. Rows of clerks, mostly women, operate calculating or tabulating machines in the computing division of the U.S. Treasury Department, likely mid-1920s. These early computers performed complex calculations for government functions like census data or financial records. Supervisors oversee the work in the large office space. A crowd gathers on a Philadelphia street to view a large outdoor map depicting the new political boundaries of Europe after World War I. The map highlights the significant changes resulting from the war and subsequent treaties, such as the breakup of Austria-Hungary. People study the redrawn borders reflecting the post-war order. This photograph shows the heavily scarred steel turret of a German defensive pillbox, likely from the Atlantic Wall fortifications in Normandy. The numerous deep craters and impact marks resulted from intense Allied shelling and gunfire during or after the D-Day landings in 1944. The damage highlights the ferocity of the battles fought to overcome these defenses. A well-dressed woman, likely a survivor from the RMS Titanic, appears to be signing an autograph for a man shortly after the disaster in April 1912. This interaction probably occurred either aboard the rescue ship Carpathia or upon arrival in New York. Nearby boys look on with interest at the scene. Actress Vivien Leigh is pictured here in costume for the title role in the 1945 British film Caesar and Cleopatra. Already famous for Gone with the Wind, she starred in this lavish Technicolor production. The film featured elaborate period costumes designed by Oliver Messel. A section of the Great Wall of China winds through mountainous terrain in this photograph from 1907. Taken before major modern restoration efforts, the wall appears weathered but still imposing. Two figures stand on the battlements, providing a sense of scale to the massive structure. Major Richard Dick Bong, America's highest-scoring air ace of WW II, is pictured here with his wife, Marge. He flew a P-38 Lightning fighter nicknamed Marge, achieving 40 confirmed aerial victories against Japanese aircraft in the Pacific. For his service, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. Southwest Airlines flight attendants interact with passengers while wearing the airline's distinctive hot pants and go-go boots uniform from the early 1970s. This controversial uniform was part of the airline's marketing strategy at the time, emphasizing a fun and flirty image. The outfits were relatively short-lived compared to more traditional airline attire. Young women chat on a street, likely in Damascus, Syria, showing fashions from the 1970s. Bell-bottom pants and colorful patterned tops were popular styles during that decade globally. This photo captures an everyday moment before major political changes and conflicts significantly altered the region later on. Actress Ava Gardner gives a smart salute while wearing a military-style uniform, likely a costume for a film. This photo was taken in Lahore, Pakistan, during the filming of the movie Bhawani Junction in 1955. Gardner played an Anglo-Indian character caught between cultures during the British Raj. A competitor eats a meal while balanced precariously atop a pole during the World Pole Sitting Championships. This endurance event took place in Roelofarensveen, the Netherlands, August 1971. Participants had to endure long hours sitting on these narrow perches above the water. Workers take a break around a table inside what appears to be a Soviet automobile factory, likely Vaz, Lada. The men, dressed in work black uniforms, seem to be playing cards or dominoes amidst the assembly line environment. Cars in various states of production are visible in the background. A young Carrie Fisher watches intently from the wings as her mother, Debbie Reynolds, performs on stage. This moment was captured at the Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas back in 1963. Reynolds was a major star headlining shows there, giving her daughter an early look at show business. President John F. Kennedy addresses an immense crowd estimated at 450,000 people in West Berlin on June 26, 1963. He delivered his famous Ich bin ein Berliner speech from the steps of Rathaus Schöneberg. The speech was a powerful statement of U.S. support for West Berlin during the Cold War. A Berlin U-Bahn subway train operates through a damaged open-air section of tunnel in September 1945. Heavy bombing during World War II devastated much of the city, including parts of the public transport system. Wooden supports shore up the sides of the excavation around the tracks. Chinese leader Mao Zedong examines a book, possibly his Little Red Book, while meeting with American civil rights leader Robert F. Williams. Williams, known for advocating armed self-defense, lived in exile in China for several years during the 1960s. The meeting took place likely during that period, with members of the Red Guard visible behind Mao. Italian actress Sophia Loren places her hands into wet cement during her handprint ceremony in Hollywood. This tradition typically takes place at the forecourt of Grauman's Chinese Theater, now TCL Chinese Theater. Loren was one of the major international film stars being honored this way during that era. Actress Jane Mansfield stands beside Joan Tabor, who wears a Miss Hollywood sash in this 1957 photo. Mansfield, known for her platinum blonde hair and hourglass figure, was a prominent Hollywood personality. Both women smile for the camera at what appears to be a promotional event. Frank Sinatra strikes a confident pose while stepping out of a helicopter, drink in hand. This image likely dates from the 1960s, reflecting his status and sophisticated style. Using helicopters for transport was part of the high-flying lifestyle associated with Sinatra during his peak years. New automobiles gleam under the lights in this dealership showroom, photographed around 1931. The elegant space features tiled floors and substantial wood-paneled columns. These cars represented the latest automotive designs available during the early years of the Great Depression. A woman sits sideways on a moving scooter, adjusting something near her knee as it travels down a New York City street in 1969. Her blonde hair flies back dramatically due to the motion and wind. Vintage cars from the era line the street in the background near Central Park West. A young Dolly Parton stands at a microphone in a recording studio around 1966. She was about 20 years old at this time, just beginning her career in country music. This photo captures her early days before becoming a major international star. The Washington Monument stands partially completed in this photograph taken by Matthew Brady around 1860. Construction had halted in 1854 due to funding issues and political turmoil, leaving the obelisk unfinished for over 2 decades. Work wouldn't resume until 1877, eventually finishing the monument visible today. Italian actress Claudia Cardinale kneels on a sandy surface, petting a cheetah lying calmly beside her. She smiles brightly while surrounded by onlookers, likely at an outdoor event or film promotion. Cardinale was a major international film star during the 1960s when this photo was probably taken. A woman wearing a Miss America sash sits beneath an elaborate early permanent wave machine, likely in the late 1920s or early 1930s. This complex device used electrical heating elements and numerous clamps to curl hair. The man standing beside her is possibly the inventor or a technician demonstrating the process. Actress Veronica Lake talks on a candlestick telephone in this studio portrait. Known for her peekaboo hairstyle and film noir roles, Lake was a major star in the 1940s. This photo likely dates from that period, showcasing her signature look. This comparison shows the dramatic transformation of a section of Dubai from 2000 to the present day. The top image reveals a largely undeveloped sandy coastline with some early construction visible. The bottom image depicts the densely built Dubai Marina area, filled with skyscrapers and artificial waterways. Actress Candice Bergen strikes a playful pose on a beach next to a small boat around 1968. She flexes her arm while resting her foot on what appears to be a worn boat bumper, or possibly a large fish head used as a prop. Bergen was establishing her film career during the late 1960s. Actress and model Sybil Shepherd poses for this studio portrait around 1972. This was shortly after her breakout role in the acclaimed film The Last Picture Show. Seen from behind Abraham Lincoln's statue inside the Lincoln Memorial, a vast crowd gathers for the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom on August 28, 1963. This unique perspective looks out towards the Washington Monument and the throngs assembled on the National Mall. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech during this historic event. Two men enjoy ice fishing from the comfort of their car on a frozen lake in Michigan, 1955. They sit inside the vehicle with the doors open, fishing lines dropped through holes drilled in the ice nearby. This method provided shelter from the cold winter weather while pursuing their hobby. French singer and style icon Françoise Hardy sits confidently on a Honda motorcycle, likely in the late 1960s or early 1970s. Dressed in a leather jacket and pants, she embodies the cool, chic aesthetic she was known for. Hardy often incorporated modern elements like motorcycles into her fashionable image. Cleveland Indians pitcher Bob Feller displays his powerful pitching motion in this action shot. Known for his blazing fastball, Feller was one of baseball's dominant pitchers from the late 1930s through the 1940s. His career included a notable interruption for service in the Navy during World War II. A 22-year-old Hillary Rodham sits for a portrait while likely attending Wellesley College or Yale Law School around 1969. She wears large glasses and striped pants, common styles for young women during that era. This photo captures her appearance years before becoming First Lady and a major political figure. Film director Alfred Hitchcock poses for a characteristically quirky portrait by photographer Philippe Halsman. A bird appears perched on the cigar protruding from his mouth, possibly referencing his famous thriller The Birds. Hitchcock was renowned for his suspense films and distinctive public persona. The young main cast of the 1983 film The Outsiders poses together outdoors. Pictured are future stars like Tom Cruise, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Emilio Estevez, Matt Dillon, C. Thomas Howell, and Ralph Macchio. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, the movie adapted S.E. Hinton's popular novel about rival youth gangs. Marilyn Monroe beams while embracing a young fan outside the Wilshire Beauty Shop, likely around 1955. She wears an elaborate white gown and fur wrap surrounded by onlookers and another member of the military. This captures one of the many moments she interacted warmly with her admirers. Fleetwood Mac singer Stevie Nicks smiles while doing the splits on the floor backstage around 1978. Known for her flowing stage outfits and mystical persona, this photo shows a more playful, athletic side. This was during the period of the band's massive success following the Rumors album. Before her big Hollywood break, Sharon Tate moved frequently due to her father's military career, picking up modeling gigs and small TV parts along the way. This photo captures her mid-60s look, right when she began getting noticed in films like Eye of the Devil. Her role in Valley of the Dolls soon cemented her status as a prominent face of the era. Brassai, famed for his moody Paris night shots, caught this bright moment of late 50s New York optimism. The Honeymoon Lane Danceland sign points to the era's lively entertainment spots. It's a neat contrast, everyday connection captured by a photographer known for exploring shadows. Way before smartphones, getting directions meant calling a service like this Dutch ANWB hotline. Operators used maps and phones to guide callers, acting as human GPS systems. Think about the coordination needed just to help folks find their way back then. British troops found a way to have Christmas dinner right in a shell hole on the Western Front